are you?
Good. Long time no see.
Yeah, man. How are you?
Good. You been doing all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Are you back up in New York now, or are you still out west?
No, I'm in Arizona.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I live outside of Phoenix.
Yeah, so you've been out there for a while, right?
About 6 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you go about recording this record then? Has everybody come out back and forth, or how did you do it during this pandemic?
No, man. We did it all separately. So basically um Jason, the guitar players would send me riffs, and then I would kind of go through the riffs and kind of put them together. And then we would decide on, like, okay, do it. I'd sit with it for a few days and listen to it over and over again. I go, okay, I'm gonna make this the verse, this the chorus, and then go, do it 8 times, do this 4 times,
Right.
and then just kind of, and then we'd go back and forth, and then the guitar player Jay would Velez would create a click track. So there was a click track to the bass of the song. So then the drummer, we would fly him the files, and he would go into a studio with, because Jay Velez lives in Florida, so Jay Trenzer would go in.
Right.
So, and basically, we would, the two, Jay Trenzer would get with Yule's drummer, and they'd track the drums, and then they would track the guitars, and then the bass, and then they'd give it to me. And then I was been working with Mike Gilbert from Flotsam and Jetsam.
Yeah.
So he's got a studio here. So for a while I was doing it in my house myself, but it was really hard to, like, push the buttons and get into mindset to do the vocals.
Right.
I could pull it off, but it sounded so much better with Mike doing the controls. Yeah. So basically, so that's how we did it. And then we just flew everything. I did fly out for a video shoot, and we have another video shoot we're doing. And I've flown out there a couple times, and just, I hung out one day. I flew to New York, and I just hung out for like 5 hours.
Oh, really?
We smoked a cigar, hung out, laughed a bunch, and then I flew home. Yeah, I happened to be there for something else that I happened to. So it's been a real remote. And then, I haven't seen Zeus in, 2.5 years. So I've just been flying him all the files, and then he's been mixing it as we've been going along. So, and then, it's not the ideal situation,
right?
But I think we've made the best of it, and I think we've pulled it off. So
I'm assuming it's different than the way you normally work, right? So
yeah, normally I would
you'd be in a room together, right?
Yeah, so everyone show up with some riffs. Yeah.
So my next question is then: do you think that changes the outcome of the record because it's not as organic as it would be if you were? That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. I think, you know what, man. I think it makes it. I guess there's less fluid in it. You know what I mean? I don't know. We never really made up stuff as we were, like, we would do it in rehearsal, and we would kind of work out stuff, rehearsing the songs. But a lot of times, like, we were doing the music, we would put the music together,
right?
And I didn't have lyrics until it was pretty much, they were sporadic. But what I would do is I would just mumble along. You know what I mean?
Like a melody or something? Yeah.
Just come up with a melody, and then once I have the melody, I would fill in the lyrics later. I kind of always write lyrics. I kind of always have the notes on me, a notepad or a notebook, and is it too loud in here?
It's loud, but we can get away with it.
No, I mean, I'll go outside. Everybody sucks here. They used to be cool, and then they're not now. It was quiet all day, and then you call me, and then everyone starts. Bunch of old fuckers. Yeah.
Did I lose you?
So
there you go.
I'm at a little bus. having a cigar. All right, yeah. So I was at a little bar near my house, and I'm having a cigar. And
Oh, no worries.
So anyway, so where were we? Let's start.
Yeah, so third record for Generation Kill. Do you find it difficult not writing the same record or doing things a little differently? I think, let me just back up for a second. I think this one, or at least the song I've heard, has a lot more punky, hardcore stuff to it than the other one. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my first.
Yeah, man. So, yeah. So the last one, I didn't want to just do an Exodus record because I was still in Exodus at the time. So it didn't make much sense. So I kind of want to expand on what I can do, or not what I can do, but what I enjoy. You know what I mean? And so I'm a huge fan of. There's a few records that modeled my life, and one of them was Queen News of the World. Which, if you ever listen to that record, no song is the same. They are all completely different. And that record, and I think Sad Wings of Destiny.
Yes.
Because it was like this ride of going up and down, and it had piano and mellow and heavy as fuck, and then it had mellow again, and it was just so dynamic. And I thought that the last record, when I sat down with Zeus and I told him what I wanted to do, and I said, this is the record I want to do, and he was like all for it. And we were like, yeah, okay, so we're going to do that. And we're going to try to expand on some things that because I didn't, in Exodus, it's just thrash. So I didn't really get to do anything else. So to have the freedom to kind of do that was really cool. And then on this record, we kind of did a lot. We did more because I'm not in Exodus anymore, obviously.
Right.
So I got to do some thrash. I did get to do some fucking weird, epic, cool shit, kind of toolish and, kind of weird and cool. And then I did some other stuff that was just rock, just straight up rock songs. And then I got some more thrash. So it's a mixture of all three. But I think we went a little more heavier on this than the last record we left. We only did one song that was really, maybe two songs that were weird. And the rest kind of fit the mold of thrash and heavy rock.
Right.
So, but it wasn't really, we didn't have like a plan.
Right.
It just ended up that way. You know what I mean? So
it just happened. Right. Yeah. So lyrically, you're on point again and full of venom, I would say. Is that more of a message or is that more of a catharsis, do you think? Or both?
It's just what I read, dude. I read constantly. You know what I mean? I don't. I watch TV, but I watch hockey. But I don't really watch TV that often.
By the way, go Isles.
Oh, fuck off! Yeah, you fucking cunt. You fucking. If I could have those and Montreal lose, it'd be fucking great. Fucking bunch of fucks. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so well, I forgot what I was saying. You threw me off.
Oh, sorry. Go Isles is what I said.
No, before that, you fucking dummy.
I've never been called a fucking dummy in an interview before. That's great. No, we were talking about lyrics. What you read.
Okay, yeah. So I read a lot, and I don't really watch TV that often. So that being said, I'm always reading different kinds of books. Sometimes they're history, sometimes they're fiction, sometimes they're nonfiction. I'm kind of all over the map with that. And I had a few books in my repertoire that I just kind of was reading, and I kind of got stuck on the idea. The best book that I've read in years is a book called Chaos by Tom O'Neill. And it's a brilliant book. It's about the CIA, it's about MKUltra, COINTELPRO. It's about secret programs the government was using drugs to try to make super soldiers and Manchurian candidates. So that led me down a rabbit hole of just some weird, true stuff that's happened. Right. So that was like a running theme in the lyrics. And then I kind of, at one point, I read a book about Vlad the Impaler, and then I listened to. You ever listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History?
No.
Oh well, it's a really cool podcast. It's like a it's like a class on you listen to a guy tell you the history of something, and
right,
and you know, and when I'm at work, I put in my earbuds and I work. I do I'm a mechanic and I restore cars, and I just focus on what I'm doing and I listen to what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Listen. So Dan did this really cool one on Genghis Khan. So that kind of what started the Genghis Khan, Vlad the Impaler, and that's what Never Relent was about. The first one. The next single is called The Rat King. And basically, I watched that Morgan Spurlock documentary Rat on Amazon Prime. And it was so fucking creepy and weird. And as I was watching, I was like, I'm going to write some lyrics about this. So I kind of made some notes. And then later on, I got the music and I sat down and I wrote another song about it, this documentary Rats. And then the another track is called MK Ultra, which is the album, which is based on this book by Tom O'Neill. And then it set me down a rabbit hole. I've read a few books since about the same subject. Search for the Manchurian Candidate. It's a real good one. It's from the 70s, and it was you know the movie. I'd seen it, but I didn't really pay attention when it was happening. And when I read the book, I was blown away about how fucking crazy it was. And
oh, really?
There's a really good documentary called by Errol Morris. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it was on HBO. It was a 6-part series, and it was about the original guy from the 50s who was a doctor who they experimented on LSD without him knowing, and he flipped the fuck out. He had a total meltdown. And what it seems is, and this is just conjecture on my part, is they murdered him so he wouldn't talk because it broke him, and they threw him out of a 10-story window in New York.
Shit.
Yeah. So anyway, man. So lyrics come when they come. I mean, I don't. You know, a lot of times I'm inspired in the moment, and I'll either make a note in my phone or a memo, or I'll write it down. I have just notebooks, and and reading all the time. I take notes when I read. So if I'm inspired by that. So.
Okay. What was it like working with Gary Holt again?
It was great, man. I talked to Gary this morning, man. We're me, all those guys were all. Yeah, we buried all that shit. I mean, what was I gonna do? Fucking hold on to.
Too old for all that shit. Yeah.
No, man. So we're all brothers. It's friends, man. We're good. So when I called him up, I said, "Hey, man, we do a solo," and I
lost you.
So he was like, "Man, I don't know if I said, can't fucking tell me." And 15 minutes later, he's like, "Dude, that song's fucking killer. I'm in." I'm like, "Oh, great." So he did that solo. Yeah. And so then I did kind of like a New York hardcore style song. I'm not saying it's New York hardcore, but it definitely has that kind of feel to it. And when Jay sent me the riff, I was like, "Oh man, this is a fucking Cro-Mags riff, man." I said, "Man, I should call John and see if John Joseph and see if he would sing it." And once again, we finished the song. I did my part, and then I texted John. I was like, "Hey man, I got this song," and he's like, same as Gary. He's like, "I don't know, man. I'm real busy." Blah, blah. Then I sent him the song 10 minutes later. Dude, I'm in. It's
nice.
Fucking killer. Fuck yeah. So it's the same kind of thing. So it made me feel awesome that Gary was awesome, and then John, who's like, one of my favorite singers to see live, man. He's so good, and Age of Quarrel is such a good fucking record. So that being said, to have him on my record is a huge honor. And I have one more guest on the record, but I'm keeping it a surprise because it's pretty fucking amazing that I called this guy who's one of my favorite players, my guitar players of all time. Not even just like just of all time. And
right.
I met him a couple times, and they played with us once, and I'm blown away by his body of work. And I just sent him a message, and I was like, "Hey, man," and he was like, "Yeah," and then I sent him the song, and he was like, "I'm in 100%."
That's
and
good.
He sent me the tracks yesterday. It was really cool because I saw he sent me the individual tracks through WeTransfer because it was so big. because he liked the song so much. He did 9 tracks. So he harmonized. He did harmonies, like triple harmonies, and dude, I can't wait for people to hear it. It's
So that's a good feeling. You got all those people jumping on board with you, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh,
whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, because you live this life once, man, and to make friends in this business, and then eventually, like be out of it for a little bit. But I've always stayed in touch with people, and I just didn't call them up for favors. But it's hard living on the West Coast, and all my East Coast friends are always. And by the time I get out of work, it's 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast. So,
but even as far as
so it's midnight by the time I get down.
But even as far as fans go, I mean, like metal fans and metal fans, they don't care, that you've been absent for a little bit. You're still, part of the scene, right?
Yeah, man. I'm stoked, man. The first video is doing really well. People are really digging it, man. I get a lot of positive feedback and just, hey, man, looks fucking great, and you guys sound fucking killer. I mean, so I can't. I'm very grateful, and I just hope that this can, because we kind of did this on our own dime, you know what I mean? So we're kind of hoping that this leads to, some tours, and then get out and go play in front of people, and show we can do live, because we're a fucking beast live, man. I mean, live, we're no joke, So it's fun as shit.
Is there anything sort of on the agenda, or is that too early?
We have management, we have PR, so it's all being worked out now. That the singles are going to drop over the next couple of months, then the album's going to drop, and then that's going to lead to touring and tour gigs and shit like that. So
So by the time you're ready, the world should be open and ready to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. So.
I know. I saw a bunch of announcements this morning from fests over in Europe for next. I guess it'd be next festival.
It's 2022, yeah.
Hellfest is crazy.
Dude, I mean, I want to go to that just as a fan, man.
Yeah, you know it. I was trying to figure out if I could get there. Yeah, that's a massive lineup.
I did. I thought about it too. I was like, oh, Faith No More and fucking, everybody's playing. Holy shit. You know what I mean? Fuck.
I think it's pretty much whoever who's who of anybody is there that show or that festival. That's the best lineup I've seen.
Well, and the way that Hellfest did, that's the best one. So the way Hellfest will usually work was you could play it every other year. They didn't want you every year. They'd give you a little bit of time in between. And I played it twice, and both times it was fucking insane, man. I mean, they were starting fires in the pit during our set. And last time we were there, there was a guy running around with a fucking, he had a fucking like a road flare, and he was just fucking went. It was fucking crazy. They had a big fires going on. It was crazy, dude. It was one of the craziest. Right. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to just to be there.
Yeah.
It'd be better if you were playing though, right? And then go hang out in the pit.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'll play first. I don't give a shit, man. Fuck, man. I played Grass Pop at 11 a.m. to fucking 15,000 people.
Did you really?
Was like, we played Grass Pop, and we were the first band to play, and Iron Maiden was the last band. So we were the very first band at 11 a.m., Generation Kill. And I said, man, we're going to be playing to bales of hay and dirt. Like, there's nobody going to be there. But I was like, let's just go out and fucking have fun. And we walk around the fucking court into the hallway and walk out onto the stage, and there's fucking 15,000 people inside.
Ready to roll.
It was fucking amazing. 11 o'clock in the morning. Drinking already, man. Beers. It was fucking,
that's
awesome, man.
That's like the 70,000 tons kind of thing, right? Because I mean, 10 o'clock in the morning, there's shows and there's people still drinking from the night before.
Yeah, man. And the very first 70,000 tons, we played first and last.
I was there. That's where I met you the first time. Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember you opened it up and it was swaying like a motherfucker.
It was. It was. And then we played our second set in tuxedos.
Yeah.
We rented tuxedos on the boat and played our second set.
You you rented them on the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a planned thing?
No, that happened. We just said, we saw the tuxedo room, and we're like, hey, let's get tuxedos. And we dressed up. We were like, let's be Van Halen. Like, remember when Van Halen did it in that one video where they do the fucking thing? And So that's what did it. I was like, yeah, let's do that. Fuck it. Yeah.
I thought that was planned. I had no idea that was.
No,
that's funny.
No, not planned.
That's all I've got. You covered pretty much. I told Becky I'd keep it 20 minutes, so I thank you for taking the time, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Really good to see you again.
Yes.
And hopefully I see you in the future. And listen, man, as this thing unfolds and this album comes out and all that, and stay in touch, and we can touch base from now in time, and so yeah.
And I always hit you up when I'm working on new films and stuff. So I hope I don't bother you, but I'll send you some stuff as we go along. And
absolutely, man, I'm in.
I'm always doing weird side projects and shit just to keep myself busy. So
yeah, man. Well, if you ever need music, man, I know a guy.
All right, man. Take care, my friend.
All
be
right,
safe.
Bud, be good.
Later.
Man.
Bye.
Bye.